Oi, Huey, you went and fucked around and got yourself a little fuck doll, mate. You're in some deep shit now, son. Was Starlight not enough for a little wank? Terrible accent aside, I watched Companion, obviously, and it just amazes me that a lot of people are putting this in best movie of the year category, but trashing on the monkey. I don't know. Movies are subjective. It's art. Whatever. I thought I've watched it twice now because it's on Max, and I just it's not that good of a movie. I was expecting more from the creators of Barbarian. First off, the premise doesn't make any sense. We're gonna get our companion robot to murder this rich guy and steal all his money. How on earth would you get away with that? Even if you get away with the fact that you didn't murder him, the fact all of his money got stolen, especially as everybody dies off and Huey still thinks that his plan's going to work. Like, that premise alone just doesn't make any damn sense. And there's so many writing loopholes in this. Like, they call the cops after Iris commits the murder, and then he doesn't show up for hours. And when he finally does, it's when he meets Iris on the road. He gets killed by Patrick, and then there's just no more cops after that. So, okay, whatever. And then they said at the beginning of the movie, I don't know why she said it, but, she literally says she kills Huey's character at the beginning of the movie. That was stupid. I don't know why you said that. The movie would have been a lot more suspenseful if you didn't, because the way the movie plays out, you genuinely don't know how it's going to go down. But in your mind, you know that there's no way there can be a happy ending for her because she's a robot. Even if she kills everybody and gets out of there alive, it's not like she can go live a normal life. She doesn't have a fucking social security card, birth certificate, all the shit that you need to be able to just get a job. And she takes off in a dead man's car with his money, throws the fucking Huey's phone on the ground, which directly has the app, synced to her. So the movie leads you to believe that she's going to go on and live this happy life and she got away, but there's no way that that makes any sense. My bad, the app isn't synced to her anymore because now she has self-control, but my point is that there is an app directly tying her, to the scene of the crime. So there's no way she goes on and lives happily ever after. That's my point. So I don't know. It just wasn't a well written movie. And while you can say movies like The Monkey weren't well written either, The Monkey didn't take itself seriously at all. When you got a movie like this that's taking itself seriously, I don't excuse lazy writing as much. Like, it's okay to me that the third act of The Monkey was kind of lazily written because the movie didn't take itself seriously. It's just meant to be fun. This is supposed to be a serious thriller. And so many writing loopholes, dude. Like, there's a part at the end where, the people that make the robots come to get the robot don't believe Huey's story, even though clearly, so they don't believe Huey's story, and there's a bunch of dead bodies. How do they not report that? They just act like it happens every day, and that's fine. That doesn't make any sense. And then, they explain to him that her shooting herself in the head actually didn't really damage anything. All the hardware that stores information is in her stomach. So they're going to wake her up, and they'll get all of, the voice recordings and visuals. Everything she saw and heard, they're about to see. So he commands Patrick, the other robot, to go and kill them, basically. And one of them gets away, and then he ends up, basically making it to where Iris can control herself now. She can lie, she can do whatever she wants. But then the final fight, she's got the gun. She's gonna shoot Huey. Doesn't. And also, this dramatic fight can happen that you know she's going to get out of because she stated in the beginning she killed him, and then she does. And so why didn't you just pull the trigger then? It's not a good movie. It's dog shit. And none of the characters are likable, especially Kat. Nothing says I'm against misogyny quite like being a dude's side piece so I can swipe his credit cards and, then steal his money after he dies. Married dude at that. And she's the super judgmental one. How about that? So, Kat takes 2 Xanax bars. Bars, dude. Buses. 2 of them. And drinks. And it just doesn't have any effect on her. That would, if you're not, unless you're abusing Xanax on the regular, that would probably kill you, or at least make you take a nap. And it just doesn't phase her at all. Okay, assuming that that's 8 milligrams, you're going down. It's just not a good movie to me, and I will never listen to the internet's opinion again. So, yeah, I expected more. It's not horrible. It's worth a watch, but I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. No, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. And it's like middle of the road. At least it's an original concept, but from the makers of Barbarian, a movie I enjoyed quite a bit, I was expecting more. The premise doesn't make sense. It's like Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe gets hailed as an amazing movie. I fucking hate that movie. I went and saw that at a drive-in theater because the director made The Evil Dead, and this was, following that up, and I was excited. But the premise is people are trying to rob a blind guy, and then he ends up being a killer. I don't care about you. You're trying to rob from a blind man, and he ended up being a killer. The whole movie is just stupid. I hated Don't Breathe. And the fact it got a second one was insane. And the fact people call that a good movie. I mean, art is subjective. It's fine. But I had a hard time enjoying that movie at all. The premise was stupid. That's kind of how I feel about this one. I'm comparing the two. You had Barbarian, which was such a great movie. This follow-up just kind of had a stupid premise and it was lazily written. So, and yeah, that's my thoughts on Companion. Go into it without the expectations of it being the movie of the year because the internet's easily impressed. And yeah, maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't. I just don't think it was very good. So, there's my thoughts on that. I love you guys. Bye.